One of the most common questions I get from clients whose health and fitness is maybe they're stuck or they're at a plateau or it's declined: how do I get better at nutrition, my sleep, or my exercise, etc., so I can improve my health? You know, and the interesting thing about this question is there's an underlying assumption that getting better at different skills requires different approaches, because it doesn't. But the principles are always the same. Like most things in life, the tactics that we use to get better at different skills might change. Example, trying a new diet or a new bedtime routine. And whether you're trying to get better at something, whether it's for business or fitness or your health or family or just for fun, you can use the following principles to do so. Number one, establish a baseline. What gets measured gets managed, by the great Peter Drucker. The first thing is to get a baseline on where you're established on what you're going to track and measure. If you don't know where you're starting, you can't measure your progress to determine whether or not your actions that you're taking, they're actually working out for you. You have to know your numbers to know if you're improving. Look, if your job is a leadership, you're leading a company or a team, this means knowing the average amount of time you're required to spend managing each employee and the average number of errors you have to fix for each department. And the principle applies outside of your professional life too. If you want to improve your health, you have to know your baseline biometrics. You know those numbers that you get when you go to your annual physical, like your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your blood sugar, more advanced things like bone density. If you want to get better at playing the guitar, you need to know how quickly you can play specific scales, transition between different chords. If you want to be a better spouse or a parent, you need to know how much time, for example, date nights, family dinners, ball games, how much time you're spending with your family. Obviously, you can't always get objective data for each part of your life, but even subjective measurements can help you on your path to improvement. To continue the example of being a better spouse, you could simply ask your partner to rate your satisfaction with the relationship on a scale of 1 to 10. Be careful, you might not like the answer. But that being said, you can at least get a baseline measurement. Then as you go through this process, come back and revisit the rating and see if maybe they've given you a higher score. Number two, get objective outside eyes and ruthless feedback. Once you've established a clear baseline for whatever you're trying to improve in your life, the next step is to get objective eyes outside of your current processes from an expert who's already got the results that you want to achieve. And then submit yourself to ruthless feedback and constructive criticism. And this is where most people get stuck. They allow their ego to take over, and it stops them from asking for help, for getting help or accepting, what they don't already know. But just remember, if you had it all figured out, you would have already achieved the goals long ago. To get better at anything, you need someone else to poke holes in your processes, to tear it down, to change your mindset, to change your habits, to simply change your behaviors, to help you build a more effective plan and improvement from the ground up. Sometimes the smallest hinges swing the biggest doors. And the right coach or mentor can help you make tiny improvements in the processes and create disproportionate growth and improvement. Number three would be take and track action. Once you have your marching orders from a trusted expert who's been there and done that, and they've achieved what you want to achieve, the next step is then to take action. Not only taking action, but actively tracking the actions you're taking. For example, if you hired a coach to help you improve your closing rate over the phone, keep a list of the key points to remember at your desk every time you make a phone call. After you're done with the call, record specific new actions, and you can put it in a journal, in a Google Doc. You just got to track it. If your coach told you to spend 3 minutes building rapport, then use a specific line or a phrase. Did you do it? Could you have done it better? What was the result? Ultimately, improvement is nothing more than a game of tracking and taking action each day until you achieve the results that you want. When you can look back at a week or a month of deliberate practice and see the exact actions you took and exactly what results those actions generated, you'll accelerate your progress like never before. Number four, get objective outside eyes and ruthless feedback. Again, yes, again. After taking and tracking those actions recommended by that expert, it's time to once again enlist their help and get ruthless feedback and criticism on your progress. If you're feeling stuck on any of the action steps they recommend, you simply need to just reach back out for help. If you aren't getting the results you expected, go back to the drawing board and ask them to review the actions that you've taken. The best performers in the world rely on experts and coaches to go from good to great. And more consistently, you can get objective feedback and no holds barred criticism from people who have already achieved what you want to achieve. The faster you'll improve, the sooner you'll reach your goals. That's why an expert is always needed to help you improve on progress. Number 5 then is repeat. Improvement is an infinite game. There's no end to the journey and no destination to reach. If you need help with your health and fitness, you need to get those objective outside eyes, that ruthless feedback, and somebody to repeat and track and analyze your results, you can always request a free initial consultation at maxstrengthfitness.com, and we can help you achieve your health and fitness goals in only minutes a week. Thanks.